So good morning, everyone. My name's Tom Cliff from TrackNN, and we're here today to announce some very exciting news as part of our partnership with the National Museum of Computing. So, Jackie, over to you to introduce yourself.
So I am Jackie, Museum Director here at the National Museum of Computing, and absolutely delighted to be part of this project with Tom and the team and all of our wonderful sponsors.
So first up, James, if you'd like to introduce who you are and tell us a little bit about CityFibre.
So thanks, Tom. So I'm James Cushing. I'm City Manager for Northampton as part of CityFibre. So who we are, we're a national infrastructure provider. We're providing gigabit-capable fibre optic networks to cities around the UK, going up to 8 million homes by 2025. And one of the things that we've obviously got is myself and my colleague Jean. We're in Northampton, we're in Milton Keynes, so we've been working closely with the National Museum of Computing and yourself, Tom, Track to support the activities that are going on the cities. So I lead on the Northampton rollout. So we're investing about £40 million to bring this sort of game-changing network to Northampton that really will bring sort of the best connectivity, certainly in the country, to the towns and cities that we're working in. And Northampton's one of the first. But I'll pass over to Jean, who was the first.
So I'm Jean Gowan. I'm City Manager for Milton Keynes for CityFibre. We're the first city in a national rollout for CityFibre of £4 billion and many cities across the UK. And we're also investing £40 million of infrastructure into Milton Keynes, and we've been doing so since 2018. Milton Keynes is in a great position now. We've got over 80% of the homes in Milton Keynes with gigabit capable fibre. So that's 4 out of 5 homes. So we're very excited to not only be one of the leading cities, but also nationally rated as well for the fibre capability.
Absolutely fantastic, and we're delighted to be working with CityFibre on this project. And for those of you that aren't aware yet, this project is going to be creating opportunities for autistic adults to develop employability skills in the supportive environment that is the National Museum of Computing. And we'll talk a little bit more about kind of how it's going to work. But what was it that kind of drew CityFibre to this project to become on board as a sponsor? Perhaps over to you first, James.
So I suppose there's 2 elements to this for us. Obviously, Jean will talk a bit more about some of the work in Milton Keynes, but obviously Bletchley being in Bletchley Park itself, being in Milton Keynes, being a key part of the city was one of the drivers. Obviously, there's the connection. A lot of us are tech geeks and are very interested in the sort of history of computing and the kind of broader sort of programme that Jackie and the team are leading on. And then obviously locally, personally for me and with yourself, Tom, obviously TrackNN's a key project that we support locally in Northampton. We absolutely sort of align with the ethos of supporting autistic people back into employment and skills and training. And that's the reason that we supported TrackNN, and then obviously more widely with this project with the Museum of Computing, as it is something we take very seriously about making sure we play an active role in our communities and supporting those to benefit from the types of opportunities that the digital connectivity can bring. So it's a real alignment across both cities in Milton Keynes and Northampton, and then also with the kind of actual activities that we're doing.
And I would just echo that as well from James, that, you know, Milton Keynes and Bletchley Park is iconic. So, you know, we would obviously want to capitalise on that, you know, as far as the actual historical elements are. And I think the National Museum of Computing is just amazing. And we're so lucky in Milton Keynes to have that here, and have that literally national treasure here in the city. And it wraps around that whole thing. It's obviously the technology aspect and the history of how things are changing. We're hopefully bringing the future technology in to sort of add to the story of the history of computing. But also what's really key is the fact that, and what I love about working for CityFibre is that we really love to give back and give opportunities to our community, and working with this project for autistic people, you know, being in our realm, but also giving them real employment opportunities and hopefully being able to take that back into our own company is really, really at the heart of why we're involved in this.
And Jackie, you're actually in the museum at the moment, so maybe over to you for the next question.
I just wanted to say one more thing, actually, that as I sit here now with you guys, or remotely, everything we do as organisations is all about keeping people connected. So, you know, your partnership is perfect, isn't it? I mean, you think we keep people connected with the history of computing technology. Tom's keeping people connected and getting them into the workplaces, and you guys keep us connected with connectivity. So I think that's, I think it's blooming awesome, actually. I'm really, really proud that you guys are on board with us. So what I wanted to say was that, you know, do you believe that there's going to be, you're going to be able to engage your teams in this? So you know that within this package, we will offer your staff training on how to welcome people from the neurodiverse community into your organisation. Do you think your staff are going to be positive about having that training and, you know, having a better understanding?
Absolutely. We have we've been working very hard in CityFibre on our culture recently. We have the CityFibre way, which is a really collaborative way of working as teams and as sectors within the company. And we're really excited about this because it will not only touch on our departments internally, and we can get greater awareness and understanding of working with autistic people, but it'll bring opportunities as well, not only with ourselves but with our contractors and partners. So we really anticipate that we hate writing a check at CityFibre and doing nothing. We really want to get involved and actually hands-on with this project and really give it some resource from our own company and our own passion and feed that into the project.
And I think to add to Jean as well, you know, we have quite a number of people working in our teams in the cities, in Northampton and Milton Keynes. So obviously one of the things that we're also doing is obviously looking across the company of how we can involve with that, but also how we can actually get our very local teams engaged and, you know, visiting the museum, understanding what's going on, and the training as you mentioned. So I think there is that sort of corporate activity that we'll be doing, as well as you know, how we can work with you individually within our cities and the teams that we've got in there.
Absolutely fantastic, and we're delighted to be working alongside you. And I think the point you made there, Jean, we're not doing this because it's a nice thing to do. We're doing it because it can add value to everybody involved in the project. So a huge thank you to everyone for joining us today. We're so excited to get this project up and running, and we'd like to say a huge thank you to CityFibre for their support. So thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.